On Friday, October 20th, 2023, 20-year-old Justina Otuene, also known as Tiffany, left home in Port Harcourt to go to work. She was a 300-level biochemistry student at the University of Port Harcourt, undergoing industrial training at a private hospital in the D-Line area. Before leaving, Justina told her family that she would attend her friend's party after work. It seemed like a normal day and her family expected her to return home later. However, Justina never attended the party. When she did not show up, her friend contacted Justina's brother to ask why she had not shown up. This was strange. Justina had said she would be there. The family immediately tried to reach her. They called repeatedly, but her line was not connecting. Hours ran by fast and there was still no word from her. Justina had simply vanished. By the next day, the family knew something was terribly wrong. Justina was the only daughter and the fourth child of the family. Her father had died in 2019, and her mother had been struggling to raise Justina and her siblings on her own. Both Justina and her brother were students at the University of Port Harcourt. This was a close family, and they knew Justina's habits. She would not just disappear without any form of contact with her family. The family went to the police station to file a missing person report. They explained that Justina had left for work on Friday and had not returned home. They gave the police all the information they had, and a search was initiated. The search for Justina intensified. Family members, friends, and volunteers spread out across Port Harcourt looking for any trace of her. Some of the search party even went to a Che local government area, a place where kidnapped people were sometimes found. They shared her pictures with people there, asking if anyone had seen her, but sadly, no one had any information. Days passed with no leads. Friday turned into Saturday, Saturday turned into Sunday, and Sunday turned into Monday. By Monday, the family was desperate. They were beginning to look everywhere, following every possible lead, no matter how unlikely. But still, there was nothing. Justina had simply disappeared without a single trace. On Wednesday, October 25th, 2023, around 2 p.m., a neighbor living in a compound on NTA Road noticed something disturbing. There was a very strong foul smell coming from one of the rooms in the compound. The neighbor tried to determine where exactly the smell was coming from. It led to the room of a co-tenant, a young man who had moved into the compound just over a week earlier. The neighbor had not seen this tenant in days, but the terrible smell was definitely coming from his room. Deeply concerned about what could be causing such a horrific odor, the neighbor contacted the police. He reported to the Uzoba police station that there was a very bad smell coming from a neighbor's house and that something was clearly very wrong. The divisional police officer immediately mobilized officers to respond to the scene. When police arrived at the compound on NTA Road, they approached the room in question. The smell was overwhelming. The tenant was not there and the door was locked. The police had no choice but to force the door open. What the police found inside that room would shock even experienced officers. The apartment appeared to be a studio flat, small and cramped. Inside one of the rooms, the police saw a wheelbarrow. On top of the wheelbarrow sat a large Ghana must-go bag, tightly wrapped and heavily stained with blood. There were also streams of blood on the ground around the wheelbarrow. The scene was horrific. The police carefully approached the bag and opened it. Inside, they found what they had feared, the lifeless body of a young woman. But this was not just a body. The corpse had been mutilated and dismembered. Parts of the body were missing. The victim's eyes had been removed. Her breast had been cut off. Other sensitive parts of her body had also been taken. The level of mutilation suggested that this was not a simple murder. The state of the corpse showed the signs of ritual killing, where body parts are harvested for use in ceremonies that some people believe can bring wealth or power. The police immediately secured the scene and began their investigation. They needed to identify the victim and also find the person who lived in that apartment. The occupant of the house was identified as Okoligwe Damian Chinemere, a 24-year-old student who was studying petrochemical engineering at the University of Port Harcourt. When police learned who lived in that apartment, they immediately began searching for him. Damian was not at home when police forced entry, but he had not gone far. Estate security personnel and vigilante groups in the neighborhood had already become suspicious of him. They had seen him attempting to move the dead body, trying to dispose of it before anyone discovered what he had done. When he tried to flee the area, they accosted him and held him until the police arrived. Damian was arrested and taken into custody. The mutilated corpse was identified as that of Justina Otuene, and when this information was made known to her family was devastated. As police investigated further, they discovered a crucial fact. Justina had known Damian. In fact, she had been in a relationship with him. According to sources, Justina and Damian had dated for about 3 years. Everyone who knew them was aware They had been a couple. However, they had broken up at some point, and nobody was entirely sure if they had gotten back together or were just friends. Damian's classmates revealed that although he was registered as a petrochemical engineering student, he had stopped coming to school and writing exams since his second year. He was no longer an active student, though he was still living in Port Harcourt. The investigation revealed what had happened on that Friday. After closing from work at the hospital, Justina had not gone to her friend's party as she had told her family. Instead, she had gone to visit Damian at his apartment on NTA Road. What happened after that was something only Damian knew for certain, but the evidence painted a clear picture. Justina had been murdered in that apartment. Her body had been mutilated, with vital organs and body parts removed in a manner consistent with ritual killings. Damian had then kept her decomposing corpse in his small studio apartment for 3 days while he figured out what to do with it. On Wednesday, 4 days after Justina disappeared, he had finally decided to dispose of her remains. He had placed her dismembered body in a Ghana must-go bag, put it on a wheelbarrow, and was attempting to take it to a refuse dump when security operatives reportedly saw him. When police questioned Damian, he denied murdering Justina. His story was that he had been sick when Justina came to visit him on Friday. According to Damian, he woke up to find Justina lying lifeless on his bed. He claimed he did not know what had happened to her or how she died. Damian claimed that the reason he did not report Justina's death to authorities was because he had been sick. He said he was the only person living in the apartment. According to his account, after finding her dead, he left her in the house and went to a pharmacy for treatment.
But our forensic this thing is already showing that that knife has human blood on it. Listen! Your kitchen knife. Stand up. The grace. Think you were here for nonsense. They're asking you, you're telling another thing. I'm asking you, who has this knife? Answer them. It's your kitchen knife. Forensic result already is showing that that knife. Stop that interview. Understand me? That knife has human blood on it. So who did it? What did you use to kill the girl? Lying lifeless. It was lying lifeless when I found her. Okay, so what is your own? So okay, he was lying lifeless. Okay, he was lying lifeless. And then who did you report to that she was lying lifeless? Okay, then who was the one that dismembered her? Okay, who is staying in that house with you? Only you. So if you are staying in the same house with a woman and it became lifeless and you did not report, and then wait now, and then they started dismembering the person, and you were still there staying with him, and she started smelling, and you were still I was not there. I was sick. You were sick. I went to my brother's house where I received treatment for like 3 days. Sick of what? Which hospital were you? Did you go to receive the treatment? It's pharmacy that you went to. Oh, pharmacy that you took the medicine. So you locked the house and they left the dismembered body. You understand me? Which you didn't know who dismembered, according to you. Who else is staying in that house with you? How old? How long ago now have you packed into that place?
That a girl was found dead in my house. I woke up and then the girl was lying lifelessly in my house. Yes, just the two of us in the house. Yes. I don't know what killed her. That's the problem. I don't know what killed her. I did not report to anybody. That was the mistake I made. I did not report to anybody. I just left. It's not. I did not pack the body. It's not inside the Ghana mosque. It's inside the big bag, and I did not do anything. I just carried the body like that and put on the wheelbarrow. But I now left and then came back. It's me. I was trying to dispose it because I thought anybody that see this thing now will not blame it on me. She was already dead. She was already dead at first. I don't know what killed her. That's the problem. I don't know. Maybe an autopsy. We used to like, we just used to make up and break up, and like, yes, we had a relationship.
The case was transferred to the State Criminal Investigations Department for thorough investigation. The then Commissioner of Police for Rivers State ordered that Justina's dismembered body be deposited in the mortuary for an autopsy. He publicly stated that they suspected the dismemberment was for ritual purposes. The Rivers State government took over the case in May 2024. The murder trial began with the prosecution team presenting overwhelming evidence against Damian. On a Friday in November 2025, a judge at the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt delivered his judgment. The court found that the prosecution had proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Okoligwe Damian Chinemere, now 26 years old, was found guilty of murdering Justina Otuene. The court ruled that Justina's death resulted directly from his actions and then sentenced Damian to death by hanging. Justina Otuene had not been buried since then. Her family has announced that she will be laid to rest on June 10, 2026. May her soul rest in peace. What do you think about this case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more true crime stories.